Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this Monday morning, starting off a great week. Looks like we're going to have some really good weather, some thunderstorms here and there, but there's going to be some good fishing this week. Let's get started with our weather forecast. We're looking at a high today, 76, low of 62. Water temperature 63. Now on Monday, we always like to do the Monday moon phase. We just got off the new moon last Wednesday. We've got a full moon coming up on March the 20th. And what else is on March the 20th? First day of officially spring, March the 20th. So that's going to be a big day, so write that down. Our tide chart is decent today. It's going to be a lot better toward the end of the week. It's going to be high at 12:54 and then a low at 10:46 tonight. So we got a little bump in it, but the next couple, 4 or 5 days will be some really strong tides as we're getting off these deep tides we had over the weekend. Marine forecast north-northwest at about 6. Let's take a break. We'll come back with our special guest. Welcome back, and look at our guest this morning on a Monday morning, Officer Travis Bassford.
Good morning.
Good to have you, buddy.
Always good to be here.
And man, we have got a lot of stuff to go over.
Yes, sir.
And I know, look, he's got, what, 3 pages of notes, so you're going to hear Travis talk most of the morning because we got a lot of stuff. So let's get started, buddy. How you been the last month or so?
Been good.
Yeah.
Staying busy.
2 kids now.
2 of them, yeah.
2 kids and a working wife with the companies. Y'all been busy.
Yes, sir, we have.
All right, good deal. All right, now, what's going on?
Well, we just had youth turkey, so we just got through with that last weekend, which is always great. Let the youth, 15 under, get out there and get a chance to harvest before everyone else gets to mess with the birds and get after them. So that's good. And then this coming weekend, we have regular spring turkey opening up in our area. It's March 16th through April 21st. A lot of people excited about that, and a couple things just want to go over real quick, and then we'll get into some of this deer stuff, which is some big stuff coming up with that. Is our season and daily bag limit is 2 bearded turkeys per season. So if you kill 2 opening morning, you're done for the year. So that's the bag limit for spring turkey, and they still left it at 1 in Holmes County as they're trying to continue to rebuild that stock up there. So just want to go over that. Wish everyone good luck during turkey season. Everyone knows the rules and regulations. We talk about bait every year and make sure you're 100 yards from a feeding station, grain or feed, and good luck to everyone.
All right.
So that's turkey. And
we'll be showing you some pictures now of some nice turkeys. I can guarantee you there'll be some nice taken.
Oh yeah, for sure. And now I was preparing a little bit last night to come on the show, and I was talking with Coach about this. We got some big news as far as whitetail deer management and rules and regulations. We're going to touch on a lot of those that were approved back in February at the commission meeting in Gainesville. Excuse me. But I was adding up the dates, and Florida, we have a very long hunting season for deer, and we've had it, my entire lifetime. It's been pretty consistent for the most part. And the bag limit for deer, there's been no season bag limit in the state of Florida. There's a daily bag limit of 2 bucks or 2 antlered deer. A few years ago, we saw some changes with antler restrictions in Zone D, and we had the 2 management units, north of 10 and south of 10, and that was a step in the right direction for deer management. But I added up the days that we have available to hunt in Florida, okay? So basically October 20th, bow season comes in, and deer season runs continuously through February 24th. Now there's different methods of harvest. We have archery, crossbow, muzzleloader, then we get in a general gun, and then it backs off again in that order at the end of season. But it's 127 days you can legally deer hunt in the state of Florida. But most of that being general gun season. That's a lot. Legally you can take 2 bucks a day.
So that adds up to 200.
Over 200, yeah.
So you could legally take over 200 bucks, 240 something bucks, illegally.
Exactly.
Wow.
So legally, 200.
I never looked at it that way.
254 it's a lot. So now I haven't met anyone who's killed 254 in a year, but that's a lot. That's a lot. And what that has allowed is, some people had routinely killed a lot of, deer every year. So what it's done is this new program, and I want to read this before we get into the rules and regulations that are going to be implemented in the 2019-2020 hunting season. The deer management program, we've got several rule changes intended to improve hunter satisfaction, improve the monitoring of the deer resource, provide more youth hunting opportunities on private lands, and improve the sustainability of the antlerless deer permit program. Okay, that's the goal of all these regulations. So the biggest one that everyone's talking about is now, these will go into effect July of 2019. It's establishing an annual bag limit for white-tailed deer in the state of Florida. And what that bag limit is going to be is 5 deer. Excuse me, 3 antlered, 2 antlerless. Basically 3 bucks and 2 does, but an antlerless deer is still considered a deer if it has an antler less than 5 inches. So that's your bag limit for the season. That's all you're going to be able to do. You can still do 2 a day, but it basically forces hunters to be a little more selective. Yep. You still need to follow the antler restrictions in your deer management unit, but it's a step in the right direction for it puts a value on white-tailed deer in the state of Florida. And up north, Midwestern states, even a lot of states in the Southeast, they have had stuff similar to this for years. One thing to note here in Florida is we're not going to have a physical tag that you're going to affix to the animal.
Okay.
What it's going to be similar to some other southeastern states, and it's going to require, so if you harvest a deer, let's say you shoot a buck, okay, then it requires all hunters to report the harvest deer to a telephone or internet-based harvest reporting system.
Okay.
So you're going to call in, there'll be a number, or I've heard there's going to be an app, okay, so you can either do it internet or phone.
Okay.
And you need to do that within 24 hours of harvest.
Okay.
Okay, another caveat to that for the hunters and an enforcement perspective is it requires hunters to use a harvest log to record the harvest prior to moving the deer.
Okay.
From the point of harvest.
Okay.
So before you load him or her up, you need to report it, either call in, use the app or do the internet-based reporting system, or complete that harvest log. Now, one question that came up, and you're probably thinking about it.
What if you're way out, don't have cell reception or what?
Exactly. Phone
okay, so
service.
first question comes up.
There you go.
Hey, we're going to answer that right after this break. All right. Now, here with Officer Travis Bassford, and this is so important. You know, when it first came out, I just mentioned it, but I did not discuss it. I wanted Travis to come on and just break it down for you and tell you what's going on, legally what to do and what not to do. So this is some good stuff here, and we're all going to be doing it. I personally think it's a great idea. Nobody needs to kill 200 deer. 5 is plenty. I don't even want to kill 5. But go ahead.
Yeah, it is, and so you had the question, which that comes up. What if I don't have cell phone service or internet service where I'm hunting and where that deer is killed? Then you're going to need to do that harvest log. Okay, and have that completed and filled out. Now, the information on that to be determined. They're going to have all that, and we will go over this again in detail before the hunting season. But you'll have that log. That way, if you're checked by an FWC officer, you present that log, say, hey, I didn't have service, but it's documented on that log, and the log will have quite a bit of information on it. It's not going to be something you can just scribble your name on and say, here it is, as an officer walks up. But so that's what you'll do, and then when you get service, within the 24-hour time frame, then you need to call or do the internet-based reporting.
Fair enough.
So that's the way it is, and we understand that. We understand there'll be areas that you don't have cell phone, but those are few and far between now. This day and time. So pretty cool there. That's how that's going to work. It was talked about bucks and does. We're going to use the verbiage antlered and antlerless. So your bag limit, 3 antlered and 2 antlerless deer per year, total of 5. And that's for public and private, unless an area like a management area has a more specific regulation for that area. Okay, so pretty cool stuff there. The harvest reporting system, and then antlerless deer program people that have doe tags, they're going to need to report their antlerless deer harvest annually. I know up at our place up in Jackson, I mean, we have a certain number of doe tags we get every year. We've never used them all, but there was no reporting. So now, if you harvest antlerless deer or does, you need to report that in. So now we're improving data collection, kind of like what we're trying to do with the reef fish. So we know how many deer are being harvested out of these management units. And when that happens, you'll see more of a breakdown inside the unit of how it needs to be managed.
That's right.
And you see that in a lot of other states, and Florida's now moving in that direction. Another thing for youth hunters, we talked about youth hunting opportunities, important. They're allowed to harvest only one antler deer annually that does not meet the deer management unit's specific antler point restrictions. Okay. So under 16, the 2 on one side, 3 on the other didn't apply. So it was the old rule, okay, of 5 inches. So, but they can only do one of those a year, okay, because there was no limit before that. And then they can obviously harvest one that meets the antler requirements. And then they want to create a youth hunting weekend, which would be Saturday, Sunday during the current muzzleloading gun season on private lands, and just giving them another opportunity. And they would be able to use any legal method of harvest. So they could use a general, a high-powered rifle during that time, during a youth deer hunting season. So a lot of cool things happening, a lot of changes. We've touched on them, and we'll definitely go over them again before hunting season gets in. But the biggest thing is the bag limit and the youth hunting opportunities. The 5 per year, and that's big news for Florida. So
okay, all right, that looks good. That looks good. Good
stuff. And one more thing I wanted to add. These rules will be effective July 1st, 2019.
Okay.
So in our zone, Zone D, they will be effective for this next hunting season, and we'll go over them more. But you can go online, myfwc.com, click on hunting, and you can look at all these changes in detail. And we're going to be putting a lot of stuff out there, try to get education and outreach and get this word out, because it's big changes.
It's a big change, and I think it's a good change. So that's good.
I agree. And now fishing-wise, there's been some people going. We had a couple
we'll
weekends
go from hunting to fishing now.
It's a lot going on. We've had some good weather, and when people are getting out, Great Triggerfish open March 1st.
Okay.
Been seeing some really big triggerfish come in.
Good deal.
And people checking their snapper and grouper spots, anxiously awaiting that opening. So Triggerfish is open. It opens March 1st, going to run till June 1st.
Okay.
And then we'll reopen August 1st and run till the end of the year. Now, stay up to date online. I'll try to keep you all updated the best I can, but obviously check your apps, check online to see if there's going to be any early closures. But as of now, that's what the season looks like for Great Triggerfish. Another thing coming up is Amberjack. It's going to open May 1st. And then it will be open the month of May, close, and then reopen again in August and run until October.
Okay. The month of May, Amberjack's open.
Right. Okay. So in May you'll be able to catch.
Close June and July.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So and that's getting back to normal triggerfish and amberjack seasons. So in the month of May you'll be able to catch amberjack and triggerfish and take them home.
It's going to be fascinating this spring and summer. When people go fishing and see if their spots have moved and with the storm and all. And
you're right. Yeah. See if stuff's been covered and uncovered.
We know scientifically with the FSU coming down with their sonar, with the Mexico Beach Artificial Reef Association, we know they've been moved because they've actually got it on screen. So a lot of people have little private spots and all. Right. Chances are they've been moved some too.
You're exactly right, and that'd be almost a scout trip to kind of check what's there, what's been covered, what's uncovered, and the farther east your numbers are, out of at least for Panama City, the more likelihood that they've been moved or covered.
Yeah, and you mentioned one important thing: scouting for turkey, scouting for deer, scouting for red snapper, that's so important.
Oh yeah, that's half the trip there to make it successful.
So you seeing folks are getting back? You see many people fishing around the jetties or bridges, or where are you seeing the concentration of fishermen?
I am. Most people, if they can get offshore, they're going.
Okay.
But yeah, inside the pass, the jetties, redfish bite's been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Seeing lost slot fish and then our normal oversized. And then Hathaway Bridge had pretty good redfish bite.
Yeah.
That they're doing. And we're still anxiously awaiting the arrival of Spanish.
Yeah.
They're catching a few sheep's head and black drum in the past, but not the big numbers yet.
Yeah.
So that's mostly where people are fishing as far as saltwater goes.
Okay.
And then, people are still doing their trout stuff up in the creeks and at the dam.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about some freshwater fishing and also some scallop situations. So we'll take a final break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's look at fishing game times real quick. Brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe, 4:19 to 6:19 this morning, and this afternoon 4:42 to 6:42, sort of coincides with that tide coming in. A couple announcements real quick. One of our viewers, they all are good about asking questions, and I've never had this question asked. One of our viewers up in the Bonifay area wants to know where they can get some wild geese eggs, and that's a good question. We don't. But if you know, we'll get some wild geese. They got some got a place we want to get some Canadian geese started. So if you know anything about it, let me know and I'll call them. Second announcement: Stan Kirkland, one of the members of the Panhandle Outdoors team, he's had heart surgery. He's doing well. Talked to him yesterday. He's not home yet. He was up in Emory University, had a valve replaced most of last week, and doing real well. And he'll be home sometime soon. But he wanted to pass that on to y'all, and our thoughts and prayers are with the family. They're doing well. All doing well. Okay.
Good deal.
Let's get back on Scalloping. We got the season set.
They did. They set the season. And I know you said you touched on it. We can go over those dates. And then they also set the season for 2020.
That's interesting.
And beyond, to try to get some consistency with the dates, which we have not had in Gulf County in quite a while.
Well, it's been bouncing around.
It has. Yeah. Red tide and bad years and stuff like that. Now, it is going to be a restrictive season this year. I know you've went over. So August 16th through September 15th will be the season this year.
Let me interrupt and mention this. Thursday morning, I will be with the FWC marine biologist out of St. Joe. I won't be doing a show Thursday morning. I'm going to go with them.
Awesome.
We're not necessarily doing a scallop camp, but we're going to go study some scallop situations going out on St. Joe Bay. I'll do a video and bring it back and inform y'all, and y'all will be the first ones to know about it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That should be fun. Hopefully y'all get some good weather and good water clarity.
Yeah, I hope the weather's good, yeah.
Yep. Awesome. So yeah, there we go with Gulf County, August 16th through September 15th for 2019. Now, they also, at this last meeting, set the base scallop season for Gulf County to be, now this is 2020 and beyond, July 1st through September 24th.
Okay.
Okay, so July, August, and most of September will be scallop season.
That's a pretty big season.
Right, yeah.
That's interesting.
It is. And
they're optimistic.
They are.
I like that.
They are, yeah. We've got to be positive, you know. But that's for 2020 and beyond, unless modified by an executive order.
Okay.
So unless something happens, they want that to be the season in Gulf County. And that's a great thing for Gulf County. We've talked about the economic impact over there and how everyone looks forward to it. I mean, so many people from Bay County go over there and surrounding counties to go over there and recreate and go scalloping. And hopefully we stay positive and we get some good counts and stuff like that. And we don't have red tide come back in here. We can keep those dates.
I tell you, I'm a strong believer in planning them too. If we get a bunch of them down in Sten Hatches somewhere, bring them up here. We might have to go take a boat down there tonight, get some up there, and bring them up here and dump them out. But it's been done before, so that's interesting.
It has, and they've looked at some of those counties. I don't have it on my notes here about repopulating down more around the Big Bend because it just varies so much. That fishery, it really does. So
that's going to be an interesting concept about doing that because there are a lot of scallops down around that some of those areas.
Yes, at Crystal River, Steenhatchee, they've had very consistent seasons for the past several years. And that's good. And I've talked to people around here. A lot of people go down there to go, when St. Joe was kind of down.
And the next thing I really feel very strong about, and we haven't addressed it a lot, is the size. The size. Everything we have has a size on it. Look at the redfish, trout, everything.
Even oysters.
And oysters and everything. And a lot of people just get them. They don't know any better. The tourists, especially folks from Georgia and all, they just see one like that and they'll get them. We got to somehow come up with some little size thing. So.
Yep, and that might be something in the works too.
Okay, good.
I haven't heard yet from our marine biologist, but I know you brought that up, and yeah, you're right. That's one of the few things we don't have a size limit on. So, anyway, so exciting things there. Still going to have a pretty decent season there in Gulf County, and it should be fun. So, one thing I wanted to remind everyone: we have spring fishing season coming up, especially here in Panama City, Destin, Pensacola, and the Passes. Sheep's Head. New bag limit. It's new for this spring. They implemented it last year, but 8 fish per person. It's been 15 for years. Cut it in half pretty much. So 8 fish per person. And then in the month of March and April during their spawn, it's 50 fish per vessel. Okay, so that's that's been big news, and I just want to remind everyone, another thing with cobia, size limit remains the same at 33. However, it's 1 per harvester, 2 per vessel, whichever is less, okay? For years, you could have 6 per vessel.
Yeah.
You can only have 2 cobia on your boat, okay? And that's been a thing that's been talked about. I know here in Bay County a lot, their numbers being down and things like that. They've had workshops. So important thing to remember with cobia. Snapper, big news here. They set the, we usually start with snapper, but this deer stuff was so big. They set the season, recreational, private recreational anglers, state and federal, and your state charters, June 11th through July 12th. So it's going to be about a month long this year, continuous, still 2 fish per person, 16-inch size limit. I did not jot down the federal charter dates. I'll have that next time as we get closer. Okay. But for the private recreational angler, state and federal, June 11th through July 12th. So about a month, and that's going to also coincide with, gag grouper. Be open during part of that time, so you'll be able to keep snapper and grouper at the same time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yep. So that's going to be fun. Another thing that I wanted to just let everyone know, and we'll talk about this a little more next time as we're getting into fishing season, is that shore-based shark fishing permit. We talked about it before. They did pass that. It will go into effect July 1st this year, and you're going to need to have that no-cost annual shore-based shark fishing permit. A lot of requirements surrounding that we can talk about at a future date, including education, and you can't chum from the beach and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff going on. I tried to touch on quite a bit of it.
Yeah, he's got 3 pages of really good information there. We wanted to hear it, straight from the horse's mouth. This is the first time we've ever been on with Travis that we just didn't have time to do a case of the month. Although you have a bunch of cases.
I do.
You've got some.
I'll have 2 next time and have some good stories.
In fact, when we get off the air just shortly, he's going to tell me 2 or 3 of them, and I'm going to get a kick out of them. That's going to make my day. So we got to wrap it up. But good stuff, Travis. Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Always a pleasure.
All right. And folks, always, stay up on these laws, rules, and regulations. It's good for all of us. Meanwhile, today, you do something good for your fellow man. You have a great day. Enjoy the beautiful outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.